Hello, crime scene enthusiast. Hello, criminal justice enthusiast, and welcome to a new game on the channel, The Darkest Files. Now, it was just last week, I believe, when I played the demo for this game, and I really fell in love with the demo, so I am super excited that the game is now out and available for me to play. I do apologize, technically the game came out yesterday, and I did get the game yesterday. But as I mentioned in another video that I put out recently, um, I've been having a little bit of a health problem. I cracked a rib, and so sometimes talking and recording just is a little bit of a struggle right now. So I just didn't feel up to it yesterday. I do apologize in this video if my voice does change a little bit or cracks or anything. I'm doing the best I can because I definitely wanted to get this video out here as soon as I could in relation to the game's release. So, if you did not watch the demo, in this game, we are playing as this young lady here. I forget her name, but she is a German prosecutor, and this is set in post-World War II Germany. Our job is to basically prosecute crimes, as far as I understand, that were committed by the Nazis during the war. So this game is going to have some sensitive material to it. I believe that all of the cases that are in here are based on true events, but the names of the characters within the cases have been changed. I believe the main characters of the war and such as presidents, Adolf Hitler, these type of names are still the same to add to the realism, but within the cases the names have been changed. So I'm looking forward to this series. As I said, I really like this one because it's a mix of sort of detective work and court battles as far as I understand. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into The Darkest Files. Alright, so we do have choices here. This is sort of the way it was in the demo as well. We had investigator mode and we had story mode, and then we also now have custom mode, which is sort of neat. With investigator mode, this mode is for players who want to solve puzzles and prefer a more challenging experience. And then this mode is focused on the story. So this mode is for players who want to experience the story game of the game without great challenges. And since I want to focus in the playthrough here on the story for you guys and such, we are going to go with the story mode. I personally thought it still had a decent amount of challenge to it, which was really fun. Now, I did pick settings for the game before the game started that I hope will fit well for the game, because I'm going to be talking with you guys and such, so there's a few settings I changed, like an interruption mode that it has. We'll have to see how that works, but I hope that it's set best for sort of recording the video here at the same time. So, with that all being said, let's go ahead and jump into story mode. The events in our game are based on true crimes committed during the Nazi era and were investigated in the young Republic of Germany. With the exception of Fritz Bauer, the names of all those involved have been changed. Any similarities with existing persons of the same name are purely coincidental. So Fritz Bauer, if I remember correctly, is our boss. He's sort of leading this group in the Federal Republic of Germany to prosecute the Nazis.
Frankfurt, West Germany, 1956. 11 years after the end of World War II, many crimes of the Nazi era still go unpunished. The perpetrators of these crimes are walking free. Many judges, prosecutors, and police officers have already served under the Nazis. Now they have no interest in prosecuting their former comrades for actions similar to their own. For the victims of these crimes, this is unbearable. To end this, Attorney General Fritz Bauer establishes a special unit of young prosecutors with no ties to the old regime. I am Esther Katz. I am one of these prosecutors. We are investigating Nazi crimes and bringing perpetrators to justice. Not to avenge, not to heal, but to show that there are laws that apply to all. It doesn't make us popular. Most want to forget. Some want us to shut up. But they cannot stop us. Nothing belongs to the past. Everything is still present and can become the future again.
Alright, so we get a little bit of background there, as I sort of said. And I think this is going to be the same case we played in the demo, but I'm not positive. I guess we will see here.
First day, you've got this, Katz.
Alright, so I did also turn on a setting where it will highlight for me the different things. Yeah, so if I hold down spacebar, I can see the different things I could interact with. So, we've got a nice umbrella here if I wanted to.
Looks more like somebody's home than a prosecutor's office. Good, I'm not the first one in.
And this way I just make sure I'm not missing anything here. Because I want to get everything for you guys.
Waiting. I'm not here for an appointment.
Oh, okay. Well, I can use that chair if I wanted to.
Archive. Not where I should be now.
Yeah, we already know this building a little bit from the demo, so we're heading upstairs.
Hello?
Here.
Anybody here?
This is slightly
Not
different.
much of a welcome party.
Okay, so we've got an office over there, some chairs there, something on the table to read, plant there to look at. Alright, let's look at the plants first.
So many plants. Someone here has quite the green thumb.
Alright, then we could also look at this.
Really small for an intercom. Must be a new model.
I love how that's small for an intercom.
Still burning. Someone was just here.
Yeah, so the secretary's around here somewhere.
Someone's made themselves right at home.
Alright.
Fritz Bauer. I'd be hard-pressed to find a more disliked name in this city. I hope this job wasn't a mistake.
Yeah, so we could possibly go to that door, but I don't want to. I know my office is right over here, but I want to look at the other ones here.
Maybe everybody's in a meeting?
And then we're going to look at the magazine here. Fashion of Tomorrow, What True Style Is, The Lord of Hats, Robin Hickey's Reinvents Headwear. Alright, I can't change the pages it seems like, so guess we're good.
They could all be on break, right? All of them, at the same time, early in the morning.
And I do love the look out there. Love the fact that they've got the cars going by. I think we just missed the cable car going down that way, which is also awesome. But anyways, let's get to the office. Sorry for taking a little bit extra time here.
Now, where have I... No. Paula Fisher, what is it with you and your forgetfulness?
Alright, this is my office, so she's in here. Alright, so we've got our choices of what we could say. I'm going to go with hello, because that's kind.
Oh, hello. Good morning. Sorry I didn't hear you enter. You must be Miss Katz, right?
Esther Katz, yes, that would be me. And you are?
Paula Fisher. Hello. I'm a legal assistant here for Mr. Bauer's team. Well, the legal assistant. We're a bit understaffed at the moment.
Yeah, because no one likes us. So, we're going to just stay nice with Paula. I mean, one thing I've always learned is the two people in any business you want to take care of the most are the maintenance people and the secretarial people. Because they're the ones that are going to make your life either really nice or a living hell. So, no reason to be mean to Paula. She hasn't done anything wrong, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Paula.
Oh, it's my pleasure, believe me. I've brought you this week's newspaper and a letter that arrived for you. Anyway, I should probably be going. I'll be at my desk if you need anything. You'll find me. Or through the intercom. We just had the whole system installed. It made my life so much easier.
I think I will ask when Dr. Bauer will arrive.
When can I expect to meet Dr. Bauer?
Mr. Bauer wants to talk with you once you've acclimatized. His words, not mine. He should be arriving soon for that matter, so should the rest of the team.
I see. Very well then. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you on our team, Miss Katz.
Well, she was nice.
Then. First encounter, check. Time for me to settle in.
Alright, so let's see what we got around here. Got the 2 seats there, the door. Oh, we do have a magazine over here we can look at. As I said, I do like having turned that on, so it's a little bit easier to find the things around the rooms. Rock and roll und lang Nachit. Now, I do not know German well, so I apologize for my butchery of the language right off the bat. I will attempt to sound out words in some cases. In other points, I'm just not going to try because I know I can't do it well. The radio on the road. Everywhere is smoky. This song landed at #1 in the German charts. Hamburg Quake, first international rock and roll tournament. Interesting. Alright, so we've got a music magazine on our area. Can't open those dressers. Alright, nothing over here right now. So let's go ahead and take a seat. I can't reach the stuff from my seat. Well, that makes the seat sort of pointless, doesn't it? Alright, let's look at the letter first, and then we'll look at the other stuff. Yeah, let's show the transcript on that, because his writing's a little bit hard to read. My dear daughter, my heartfelt congratulations on your promotion. Being a state attorney at the age of 30, that is no small feat. You achieved this on your own, through diligence and brilliance of mind. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Though it is a great honor to work for the Attorney General directly, Dr. Bauer is not always easy to work with, I hear. But people are saying a lot of good things about him, too. So please, don't let me spook you. I wish you all the best for your new position. No father has ever been prouder of his daughter. With love, your father. P.S. Your mother asks if you're coming home at the weekend. I think she's still getting used to the fact that her daughter is working a job, not tending a family. Sorry about that pause there for a moment. As I said, with the chest and stuff, I have to cough once in a while, so I will put the mic up so it doesn't blast your eardrums. So, from the demo, I remember that the dad was a little bit nervous about us working for this agency because of the reputation and such. So, it's going to be interesting how that evolves over time. Alright, so we've got our different things here. We've got a picture, we've got a book, and we've got our diploma.
Look at that. Written evidence of all those sleepless nights. And the ton of coffee. But here I am. I finally made it. Pretty sure it was all worth it.
I can relate to that, having 2 master's degrees and a PhD myself. It is a lot of sleepless nights, it really is. Born on December 12th of December 1927 in Frankfurt, Maine, has absolved the second state examination with success. Thereby, the trainee has reached the degree of Assessor of Law in Criminal Law, with all rights and privileges pertaining thereto. And this is from the Ministry of Justice. I love that it's the Hessian Ministry of Justice. I don't know if that's still a thing in Germany now. If there's anybody watching from Germany, please let me know. I'd be very interested in it. The reason I say it's interesting is because whenever I think of Hessian, I actually think of Sleepy Hollow, the story of Ichabod Crane, because of the fact that the Headless Horseman is supposedly a Hessian mercenary that came to fight in the war and such. So, anytime I see the word Hessian, that's what I always think about. Really love that movie, and if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. Really great acting, really good movie. Anyways, I'm rambling on. Where did that go? Oh, we put it over here. Well, that is a definitely nice place for it. We also have that dagger-looking thing on our desk that I kept noticing in the other person's office. I guess it's just an oversized pen holder, but it really is quite large.
The last holiday we spent together as a family. I'm so glad Dad made us do it. Franz was such a show-off that summer. Always trying to impress the girls. I wish you were here, Big Brother.
Oh, so we're getting a little background. Sounds like my brother has passed away, sadly.
I'm not letting you down. I swear.
Oh, interesting. I don't want to read into that too much. I have my own thoughts on that, but I am very curious how the story's going to evolve with this. Can't turn any of these over, so it is just the way it is.
A new job deserves a fresh journal, ready to be filled with notes and tasks.
Nice. I like that we've got a new journal there. Alright, we've got unbox your personal belongings we've completed. Now we've got the open tutorial menu. Alright, so H is for the tutorial again. Oh.
Hello?
Mr. Bauer is ready for you. He says at your own time. With him, that means as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'd better get going then.
Good luck.
Alright, so we'll go over there in just a moment. Let's go ahead and look at the Frankfurter Stimme here. Bauer's witch hunt. Irresponsible and detrimental to the stability of the state. These were the words used by members of the Hessian State Parliament last week to describe Fritz Bauer's work as Attorney General. Some local CDU MPs called for his immediate dismissal. They said that each ill-considered accusation with each ill-considered accusation he was destroying the reputations of decent men who were just what this country urgently needed. The question arises as to how high the price of Bauer's fanatical crusade excuse me. The question arises as to how high the price of Bauer's fanatical crusade will ultimately be and whether Germany can afford it. Recruitment efforts. With next year's election looming over the horizon, the CDU leadership is reportedly aiming to significantly boost its numbers in the remaining months. Party chairman and current Chancellor Konrad Adenauer has reached out to his fellow Christian Democrats in personal letters instructing them to dramatically increase their recruitment efforts. According to our sources, Mr. Adenauer hopes to at least double the party's membership, expecting every registered member to recruit at least one new candidate. Alright, so we get a little bit of the politics going on, and we start seeing how Bauer is unliked in the country. As said, I apologize for the cough, trying my best to not do it with the microphone down when I can. Alright. Let's go talk to Mr. Bauer. Oh, our door shuts automatically. How convenient.
Miss Katz, welcome to the front line.
Good morning, Dr. Bauer.
Just mister. We're working together. My name, as you already know, is Fritz Bauer, General Prosecutor. Much to the displeasure of the public, I insist on investigating the many crimes committed under the NSDAP. Most of them, of course, have long since gone cold. And nobody out there truly wishes for us, for you, to solve them. Or frankly, to even touch them. A rather thankless job, may I say. Are you up for it?
I am, and I'm well aware of this.
You see, I'm not entirely sure of that. But no matter. Miss Katz, I believe I have the perfect case for you to start with.
I'm listening.
Hans Naumann, an older gentleman, shot just before the end of the war.
And why does this fall under our jurisdiction?
The suspects. According to the victim's wife, her husband was taken by uniformed men for no reason. He never came back. His body was found in a forest nearby after the war. Shot in the head.
I assume this isn't the first time she brought this case up?
No, it's not. Miss Naumann reported her husband's death to the police. A case was opened. The public prosecutor's office investigated members of the NSDAP local group. They're suspects. However, no charges were pressed. Based on the investigation, Hans Naumann was lawfully executed.
Could that have been the case? Maybe the widow simply didn't know the reason for his arrest.
That is a possibility. The first thing that I'll need you to establish is why Hans Naumann was taken. Depending on the answer, we'll see if the case warrants a full investigation. I asked Mrs. Fisher to prepare a file. It should probably already be on your desk. I suggest you familiarize yourself with it and invite the widow to give a statement. Mrs. Fisher should be able to help you with that. It might also be wise to check the archives. You never know what is hidden in these old boxes. Maybe something about this official order mentioned in the discontinuation report. Ask Mr. Bournemouth for the keys. I believe he has a spare set. Good luck, Miss Katz.
Right. Get the keys, check the files, and invite the first witness. And I need a refresher on the Nazi hierarchy. Understanding the chain of command will be crucial. Paula...
I didn't want tutorials, I wanted my notebook. Oh.
I did say to
wrong
ask
button.
her if I needed anything.
Alright, let's go here so we can look at our urgent tasks. So we have to read the case file, we have to ask Paula to invite the first witness, we have to request documents on Nazi hierarchy from Paula, we have to look for unfiled documents about the resistance in the archive, get a spare key from to the archives from Mr. Woolmuth. So this is a little bit different than the demo. This case I'm familiar with at this point, but we're sort of before the beginning of the case right now. So I am going to probably get us pretty much up to where we left off, or where we began with the case in the first episode. Yeah, actually, let's talk to Paula first.
Miss Katz, how can I help you?
So we need a couple different things from her. First, let's go ahead
I
and...
need you to invite a potential witness.
Of course. Who should I reach out to?
Yeah, we want Ludmilla Naumann.
Ludmilla Naumann, the victim's widow. I want to hear her version of what happened.
Of course. I'm on top of it. Anything else?
Yes.
I need some additional files.
Something specific?
I need more details regarding NS organizations. Chains of commands, ranks, and badges. Anything you can get your hands on.
Of course, I'll get right to it. Anything else?
Thank you, Paula. That will be all for now.
Here if you need anything.
Alright, so we got that taken care of. So now we can go back to our wheel here. We have the case file, the dialogue, log, and then our notebook. Notebook's the most handy for right now. So we've got the current case, Hans Naumann, 77, at the time of death, shot in the head at close range, summary execution. Other than the perpetrators, the last person to see him alive was his wife, who reported 2 uniformed men taking him from their home. The case was investigated before, but all charges were dropped. The prosecution deemed he was lawfully executed as a traitor, a communist insurgent. The victim, Hans Naumann, somebody's husband, father, by the look of him, probably grandfather. Gunshot to the forehead. Was he executed? Why? Paula Fisher, the legal assistant, a workaholic, if I've ever seen one, single-handedly dealing with the unit's administration, almost aggressively friendly, but don't ask her for coffee. George Katz, between the law firm and his party membership, he simply works and worries too much. Nothing that new there, but he is getting older, not that he'd admit it, of course. Alright, then we have Frida Katz. She only wants what a mother would for her daughter, for me to marry a lawyer. Becoming one myself wasn't what she considered a valid alternative. Fritz Bauer, one of the few willing to prosecute these old cases. He used to give guest lectures back when I studied. I think he still does. Alright, so we've got these things here. So some terminology here that we can look back on. Not going to worry about that too much for right now. I need to figure out where it is that I can find this Mr. Woolmuth. Wonder if he's in archives. Alright, it says read the case file, so I guess I have to go do that first. Would like to do them out of order, because then I could have everything in the case file. I could get the case file just in my notebook, but I prefer to go over here and get the real deal. Alright, so we have the case file. I am going to reread it just in case you did not watch the demo video, but I believe this is going to cover much of the same material. Alright, we understand that. So we have the Public Prosecutor's Office sent out this. Dear Mr. Bastian, the investigation into the death of Hans Neumann from Munich has revealed that he fell victim to a violent crime. For details, please see the attached file report. We were able to identify 4 possible suspects who were connected with the victim's disappearance. Alfred Faltman, Hermann Kibitz, Karl Schickert, and Herbert Schwarz. The police investigation is thus considered closed, and we hereby officially turn the case over to your prosecutor's office. If you encounter any questions during examination for the indictment, please do not hesitate to contact us at any time. We have Manfred Wagner is the person who was behind this. On May 10th, 1945, a dead body was reported to the police in a wooded area near Munich. The deceased was identified as Hans Neumann, age 77. The autopsy revealed he was killed by a 7.65 millimeter Browning caliber gunshot to the forehead at close range. No other injuries were found. The victim's widow filed a criminal complaint against unknown persons on August 8, 1945. She had observed 2 men pick her husband up on April 28, 1945. He had been considered missing ever since. 4 suspects identified in connection with the victim's disappearance were interrogated. All suspects testified that the victim was guilty of treason and was therefore lawfully executed. The evaluation of whether a crime had been committed is the responsibility of the authorized prosecutor's office. Herbert Schwarz, District Leader, Munich, report. Mr. Minister, Block Warden. Block Warden Mitter Moser saw a man climbing up the block's flagpole attempting to tear down the Reich flag and replace it with a white flag. Mitter Moser ordered the perpetrator to stop and attempted to apprehend him. The perpetrator attacked him and fled the scene. The block warden was injured in result. Mitter Moser is certain that he recognized the young resident of the block, Jan Neumann, as the perpetrator. Measures taken. Local group leader Faltman immediately set up a detachment to arrest and interrogate the suspect, Neumann. So that is important information for us to have. Next page is here. Preliminary proceedings against the 4 men due to manslaughter. Dear Miss Neumann, in the above-mentioned proceedings, we made the following decision. Proceedings shall be discontinued pursuant to 170 Section 2 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Reasons: the victim, Hans Neumann, was a communist insurgent who carried out highly treasonable actions in a wartime situation. The execution ordered by the district leader was carried out according to the law in force at the time of crime and official orders of the regional leader of Gau Munich, Upper Bavaria, Helmut Solbrig. So that's what the prosecutor at the time said. The proceedings against the 4 were discontinued on the basis of the law stated below. Excerpt from Article 103(2) of the Basic Law, 1949. Any act may be punished only if it was punishable by law before the act was committed. Excerpt from Article 91b of the Criminal Code of the German Reich up to September 1945. Anyone at home or as a German abroad who abets the hostile power during the war against the Reich or causes a disadvantage to the military power of the Reich or its allies will be sentenced to death or life imprisonment. In view of these 2 laws, it is not possible to carry out further investigation into the case as the suspects acted accordingly to the contemporary laws in their execution of the victim, Hans Neumann. Protocol of conversation. Witness Herbert Schwarz. Please tell me what happened on the 28th of April, 1945. I remember that my esteemed colleague Alfred Feldman, group leader, local group, tasked with catching the criminal, came to my office. He told me they got the traitor and gave his report from the arrest so that I could issue the official documents. I went together with Mr. Faltman out into the hallway. With crimes of this severity, I always give the same order, the order to execute. I then told my driver to come with me to my office. The others went to the prisoner to carry out my order as requested. Your driver, what for? There was already unrest in the country because of the Americans who were just flooding in like flies. I wanted to set up alternative routes with my driver to avoid these Americans and still make it to my important appointments. Shortly thereafter, there was already a polite knock at the door, and Group Leader Faltman reported to me that the insurgent had been successfully executed. Alright, so that's what we have. So now, that should be checked off our list. It is, look for unfiled documents about the resistance in the archive. So hopefully now we can go down to the archive and get into the room. This is a new task that was not available in the demo. And is still not available right now. Huh. I would ask Mr. Woolmouth, but I don't know where he is located exactly. Maybe in the kitchen? Alright. Let's check out the paper here first. Catholic Day leave. Catholic soldiers should have up to 3 days of special leave to attend the German Catholic Day. Tensions with Moscow. The Soviet embassy in Bonn accuses Germany of espionage, defending Europe. Washington. A German army of 300,000 would protect Europe from the Soviet threat. Bonus for the jackpot. So they've increased the jackpot prize there in the lottery. German army will be supplied with American equipment for the years 1957 to 1960. The preparations of this deal were completed by U.S. Secretary of State John Foster Dulles and Western German Ambassador to Washington Kreckler. The Kuril dispute. Japan continues its peace treaty negotiations with the Soviet Union, trying to avoid what Prime Minister Haruhama's government has been calling the Admaro formula. Current draft holds significant similarities to the deal signed by Germany last autumn, especially in its demand for Japan to recognize Soviet claims of the occupied territories of Sakhalin and the Kuril Islands. So we already see the splitting apart there, where the Soviet Union is taking a different route than the United States, and we're almost aligning with Germany to deal with the Soviet Union.
Not the cleanest of places. Does it just go all day long?
I did turn down the music some in the game, so that way it's not too loud through most of it. Where is he is the question.
No, I'm good.
Alright, so we don't need to go to the bathroom.
The door is locked.
Alright. Don't go in there. Could you... is he over here? He's over here. I completely forgot about this door over here. My mistake.
Oh, hello. Oh, please, forgive the mess. I'm afraid I didn't have the time to clean up. Miss Katz, right?
Esther Katz, nice to meet you.
Pleasure is all mine. Christoph Olmuth. Christoph, preferably. I try to be on first-name basis.
Is that usual here?
Not from what I can tell.
Let's stick to the usual then, shall we?
We are a small team. I'd love to tell you that we are small and tight-knit, but, well, happy to have more people join the fight. Especially someone like you.
Alright, let's be nice to him first. And see what he means. Let's say thank you.
Thank you, I suppose.
Oh, that was a
Right.
bit...
Again, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
I'm looking forward to working alongside with you.
Alright, I did not get a key out of that conversation, so I gotta go back in.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Mr. Bauer said you have the keys to the archive?
I do. We all. Oh, the spare. I tend to keep 2 sets, as I'm somewhat prone to displacing them. Just let me find it. And there it is. The master key. Be aware of its gifts.
Yeah, let's ask about it.
Key?
It's from a story I used to read. You know, don't mind me. Good luck in the archives.
Alright. He's a bit odd. We'll just leave him alone with that. Don't really need anything else from him right now, so let's go to the archives.
Ooh, the smell. Brings me back to all the nights at the library.
Alright, to find archive file you're looking for, you'll need to connect a name to an archive number. Alright. Let's see how this works. Of Adolf Hitler here, interesting. I think they are actually in alphabetical order. No, it just gives me those. Those are the only ones I have. So Nullman does not seem to be here. Let's see. What other names do I have of significance? Current case, the insurgent. Oh great, I can't even, Alright, I'm gonna have to go look at, ooh, what do we have here? Oh, good lord. This is gonna get complicated in a hurry, it looks like. Alright, let's go ahead, back up, let's see what names we have. Wish she would have written those down in her notebook, that would have been helpful. Alright, so we've got Alfred Faltman, Hermann Kibitz, Karl Schicker, and Herbert Schwarz, and Manfred Wagner. Then what was the, P. Bastian. I really wish it would give me... There it is. I could have had this down here. Alright. Getting used to the controls somewhat. Still, my apologies. Let's head back down here. We should be able to do a better job of this time. Let's see if we see any of the names here. No, none of these names seem to be doing anything for me. But what might are these numbers, 4HN945284. Yeah, I'm guessing this is the number I need. For HG. Alright, I'm sort of confused as to what I'm trying to accomplish here. That's not what I wanted. Let's see here. When looking for an archive case, you first need to connect the name to an archive number by using the file cabinet. You can search for that number in the bookshelf. Alright, so I have to find one of these files as archive number. First need to connect the name to an archive number. So I've got to start over here. Ah, there we go. Alright, so different cabinets have different things in it. Alright, Naumann. 7JN956284. 7JN.
Found them. These seem relevant to our case.
Nice. Alright. So it was possible I was just looking in the wrong cabinet. My mistake there. Official order. Germans, national comrades. In this most difficult time of our nation, more than ever, the responsibility for Germany's fate rests on all our shoulders. All Germans are called upon to fight against the traitors in our own country. The resistance is to be disarmed. The uprisings have to be quelled. Anyone who propagates or approves of any measures that would weaken our resistance against the enemy is a traitor and must be shot. Any attempt at insubordination must be met with immediate removal from all public positions and expulsion from the party. The name of Germany will not be tarnished. I trust in your confidence, your absolute allegiance. Citizen, the war is over. The oppressors have lost. Do not defend the city against the Allies. Avoid unnecessary bloodshed. Tear down the Reich flags from the Rus. Raise the white flags. Welcome our liberators. Freedom is near. Death to the Nazi criminals. Join the campaign to liberate Bavaria. So that's what they were doing, is they were trying to take that stuff. They were trying to take down the flag so that they were showing that they were accepting of the people. Alright, so we've gotten through the archives. We've sort of gotten the what's going on set up here in the case, and I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I have a feeling with a lot of these cases, it is definitely not going to be a one video type of situation, as it would be several hours in length, I think, for it. So I'm going to try to keep the videos to between 15 minutes to 30 minutes each, and we'll just go through the case one day at a time. I am going to release these videos on a daily basis, so definitely check back tomorrow for the next portion of the game here. But for now, if you enjoyed what I did in this episode, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you back for The Darkest Files.